The following is a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
From the birthplace of modern winemaking, Sonoma, California, welcome to The Winemakers. Local experts Sam Couture, Bart Hansen, and Brian Casey invite you to listen in as they discuss all facets of winemaking. So sit back, pour yourself a glass, and let's hear what the guys have to say this week.
Ooh, nice. Good morning,
That
son.
was a
Welcome
nice
to the
ring.
Winemakers.
Little sound bath with wine glasses.
Hey, Keith, I'm going to ask you get... There we go.
There
if
we
you
go.
want to... We can shorten your chair.
Let's get in.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Winemakers. We got a full crew today.
Full house.
Everybody's in town.
Joker's wild.
Joker's wild. We got Keith Beavers from VinePair in the
What's going on?
house. Who, you know, we had talked earlier. I thought, I didn't tell you guys this. So I saw that he was in town. Yesterday, I reached out to him, DM'd him on Instagram, and I'm like, yo, I seen you're in town. You should come by the tasting room and try some wine. And he responds, yeah, I'm actually going to that spot. I'm doing a podcast. And I was like, oh, shit.
Are you saying that my communications aren't real good,
They were
Brian?
crystal clear, Bart. I think
Yeah.
Brian just missed it.
Yeah. Brian,
It's a
Brian-
two-way street. You know,
Right.
you have to have, there has to be listening as well.
Brian,
as,
Brian blames it on the wine, not the ingredients.
So, yeah,
It's not Mega Purple's fault.
what are you doing in town? What are you doing here?
I'm here to visit family. My wife's parents are from California, and they were on the East Coast for a while. My father-in-law worked for the State Department. So my wife was born in Athens, Greece. She lived in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, then all over Europe, and then came back to Reston, Virginia. And they had the house there. But the thing is, after they retired, they moved to South Carolina, and they try to get close to the beach, but they're Californian. So they're like, this is not working for us. So they tried South Carolina, too hot, too many mosquitoes. Yeah. And they decided to come back out here. So they settled in Petaluma.
Yeah, how did they pick Petaluma?
I don't know.
close to the beach.
Yeah, it's close to San
Kind of.
Francisco. My mother-in-law is an artist as well, and she just loves art. And I mean, they love the culture of San Francisco so much. They love the restaurant culture.
Petaluma's a
of San Francisco.
great hub for that.
It is. It's really awesome, and I love that I live in Petaluma because I love Petaluma. It is
Yeah.
we always stay in the Petaluma Hotel. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just so chill.
Oh, the stories I could tell you about
The
Petaluma
Shuckery's
Hotel.
downstairs, right?
I've seen things.
And they got
I've
that
heard
cool
things, too.
bar in the lobby. So
Yeah.
Yeah, had a proper Manhattan last night. I was like, do you guys do Manhattan? Like, yeah. I'm like, this is so cool. Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of VinePair and specifically your contributions to VinePair. And so I just reached out one day and said, hey, are you ever going to be in Sonoma County? And that's when you came back and said, my in-laws live in Petaluma. And I'm thinking, God, this might actually happen. And so here we are.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome to Sonoma.
Nice
No,
job, Bart.
thank you very much. I love being back in Sonoma. I love Northern California. I love it so much here. I love it.
Where's home base? Where's VinePair based?
VinePair is based in New York City in Manhattan.
I've heard of
on Fifth Avenue. We used to be able to see the Empire State Building from our office, but then some dude decided to build a skyscraper in front of it. So thanks a lot, guy. But yeah, I live in New Jersey. I spent most of my career in New York City, owned a restaurant and a wine shop. But then my wife and I left New York right before the pandemic because I closed everything down.
What was the wine shop and restaurant?
The restaurant was called In Vino. There's a little Italian wine bar and restaurant in the East Village of Manhattan. You guys familiar with Manhattan?
Yeah.
So East Village, Alphabet City, on Avenue. My restaurant was called In Vino, and it was on 4th between A and B. And the wine shop, which is still there, it's just my former business partner runs it now. It's called Alphabet City Wine Company. Okay. It's on Avenue C, and we were really the first wine shop to Alphabet. You have the East Village, right? It's in Lower Manhattan, and the East Village has Avenue A. So you have 3rd, 2nd, 1st Avenue, then Avenue A, B, C, and D. And so a long time ago when New York City wasn't as safe as it is today, the East Village didn't want to associate with like this is the story, like this part of the East Village. They called it Alphabet City. Like, let's just That's Alphabet City. Don't go to Alphabet City.
Well, there was also like tenements and stuff, Alphabet City, right?
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
was, I mean, it was just a time in New York when New York was broke and people didn't have money. So, whenever you have that happen, crime happens. It's just part of New York City. 8 million people live in New York City. So you can't really, it's just it's a
Blame
lot
it
of
on the
people.
wine, right?
Yeah, it's the wine's fault.
Is it still only 8 million people? Because there's like a rap song from the 90s with like 8 million stories in the naked city.
Yeah.
Some ice cold, some without
That number
pity.
holds.
It's got to
Yeah,
be
I'm
more
sure,
people.
I'm sure it ticked up a
Putting
little
new people.
bit.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just like it's like
People leave, people move in.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's actually one in, one out. It's very exclusive.
you like the turnstiles in the subway, same thing. Someone leaves, someone comes back in. I mean, we left, someone took our apartment.
Quick.
Right, so how did VinePair start?
VinePair was an idea that was conceived by the co-founders, Adam Teeter and Josh Malin. This is wild because I love this story. It's great. At my restaurant, there was a couple that were in the neighborhood, Adam and his girlfriend Naomi, now his wife. And they came into my wine shop one day and said, do you guys do wine classes? And my business partner's like, no. I don't know much about wine, but my business partner knows more about wine than I do. And like, well, would he be willing to do a wine class? And I was actually here in California for the first time in my life. I think it was one of my anniversaries with my wife. We were in Monterey. I get a phone call and he's like, so dude, on Saturday when you get back, you're teaching a wine class. It's going to be about 22 people. I'm like, I've never taught a wine class in my life, dude. We're just trying to get this restaurant thing going. What are you talking about? He's like, they're paying cash. I'm like, I'll see them Saturday.
Yeah.
So
what year is this?
This is 2006?
Roughly.
7?
2000. Okay.
Right before the recession. And so a couple years before the recession. The recession, that is a moment. The recession and Sandy, two big moments. Those are like markers. But so Adam and Josh and a bunch of their friends came into the restaurant when it was closed, and I just said, "Hey guys, I never taught wine before. I just know what I know. I'm self-taught. I'm not a somm. I've never gone to school for wine, but this is what I know." And when it was over, everyone enjoyed themselves, so we did it once a month for like the next few years. And Adam and I became close. We started like collaborating on projects. Adam and I almost had a television show together.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was going to be called Juiced, and it was going to be called Juice with Keith Beavers. And I was going to do like the Anthony Bourdain thing, but with drinks, with wine and stuff like that.
Sounds
I was
awesome.
Yeah, it was great. We had a sizzle reel. We went to the upfront. That's a term I had to learn. Upfront is when you go up front to produce and go, "Hi, buy my show. Hi, buy my show. Hi." So we didn't get greenlit. There was a beer show that got greenlit, and like, if the beer show works, we'll take on your show. The beer show got canceled mid-season, so we never came to fruition. But more than happy to do it one day if people want to do that. So we almost had a radio show together. We did a concert series in my restaurant where we would have, the restaurant was very small. It was only 16 tables, and it was a replica of a cantina in southern Italy. It was all stone walls, stone floors. It had heating coils in the floor, so the heat would rise up and heat the whole place up.
Who built this?
The previous owner, Luigi Iacili, he built it as a replica of a cantina in his hometown, Matera, in Basilicata in southern Italy. And it was awesome. I mean, the bathroom was a meat locker door. That was the best bathroom in New York, man. I got to tell you, no one's getting in there. If you're in that bathroom, you lock that latch, you're in.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. Sure. They did. And they did, yeah. So what we would do, so we had this idea where we both had this idea of doing music in the restaurant, but there's this really awesome photo of Jimi Hendrix, best guitarist in the world, where he's sitting there standing, and all these people are just sitting sort of like crisscross applesauce around him, and he's just rocking out. I mean, first of all, I wanted to be one of those people. Yeah. But I was like, that's what we should do. Let's bring bands into the restaurant, but pare them down. Let's strip your band down to the bare minimum. What can you guys do with one snare or maybe a small keyboard or something like that? Because the restaurant's very small. And at the time, Adam worked for a record label. So what happened was I would contact wine people. The first wine was Wente. Carl came into the city because Carl loves wine and music. I mean, of course he loves wine. Wente. So he comes in, and so what we did is I took all the wine down off the shelf, put all the Wente wine up. Carl comes in, and we have a band called the Antlers at the time. And this is the vibe of this event is the winemaker introduces themselves, their wines, and then introduces the band. The band plays a set. Then between sets, we bring a band member up and the winemaker, and we ask the same question to each one about creativity, trying to bring parallels of creativity between wine and music. It was called In Vino. Yeah. And it was awesome. We had Andre Mack brought his wines one day, one thing we had. Oh man, it was so great. And we think about it. Actually, Adam still has the poster up in his office. It was one of those ideas that we had to stop because the recession hit and everything changed. But yeah, so
who was that? Who got to pick the bands?
That was Adam because he was working for a record label at the time. I can't remember the name of the record label.
And so were you trying to they were kind of doing it as a favor, or were they actually getting paid? They
were getting paid. We sold tickets. But that's what's so cool. This is at a time when Pitchfork was at its peak. You guys know about Pitchfork?
Yeah, for sure.
And the indie New York scene is it was sort of the love hangover of the Strokes era when we had all these bands just getting their flowers all over Williamsburg and stuff like that. And Adam just was working for this label and just had an access to these bands, and people in New York love these bands because it's New York and New York loves indie music. So we would literally put it out there hey, the Antlers are coming in. They're going to pair down just a very intimate night with a winemaker. People were like, where, when, how? Yeah. And I think we charged $30 a person.
What?
For a glass of wine free each of whatever the winemaker is presenting. And then, we'd play. And people were just like, what is this? This is amazing. This is a small place in the East Village is playing bands that we love, and it's not a venue. It's just this, what is happening? Yeah. It was so cool. I wish we could do it again, but those times are gone, and I don't know if we can ever do it again. And if we did it, probably be on a larger scale. And
charging $1,000.
Yeah, it's just that was a time before the pandemic.
Yeah, right, for sure.
But yeah, so we did that stuff together, and then the recession kind of changed a lot of things. Adam ended up going to the record label shut down. He ended up going to business school, Stearns and NYU. Scott Galloway was his professor. If you guys know who Scott Galloway is.
Yeah, why does that name?
Prof. Galloway. He's a very prominent figure now in politics, I think. Yeah. He's like a... You have to ask Adam. He's really wealthy for some reason. He's really wealthy. He does really
like
well. I think, well... That's success. So yeah, that's so he got out, and then Adam and Josh both, because Josh is very savvy with everything computers, and they had this idea there's a space missing in drinks. There's a space missing in how people talk about drinks. We need to talk about wine and beer and spirits, and we need to create something that is the new way of communicating drinks to the American drinking culture. That's why our motto is drinking is culture. So they had this idea. They called it VinePair. It became a website. I remember I was actually writing for them because I've known these guys. They're friends of mine. So they're like, look, can you write a Wine101 section? I'm like, sure. So I would sit there at my restaurant, do payroll, fix the wine list, write a Wine101 entry for VinePair, and then that was it. I remember once when, because Adam could see my restaurant from his bedroom window, and I remember once I was doing something at In Vino. I look outside, and Adam's putting a cocktail out on the fire escape and taking a photo of it. That was our art department. Yeah. Literally framing on it's actually kind of sexy, a cocktail on a fire escape.
Absolutely.
Cool. But that was it. Yeah. So we started this thing, and they started it. I was still doing my shit. I was messing around with my businesses and stuff, which I shut down in 2016. But so they just kept on going. I ended up going, and I shut my stuff down. I went to DC for a year and did some wine consultation in DC. Love DC. God, that place is amazing. The wine scene in DC is so good.
Is that because there's all the politicians and
it's
K
international
Street
in general, people from all over the world, and also young professionals who want to go out and who have these office jobs and go drink wine afterward. We love DC. Shout out to the DC crew out there. You're listening.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
God, it's such a good wine bar. One of the best wine bars in America is Maxwell. And DC scene, I don't know what it is about the Som community. I'm not going to try to community in DC, but they're all just humble, chill. You know, New York is cutthroat. The Som community in New York is like, yeah, let's go. Are you in? Are you out? Can you even get in? Blah. Whereas like in DC, it's like, hey man, we're really into this thing called Petite Mansang. You want to try some? Like, yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, man. It's very, very cool. So I was in DC for a year, but I came back, and in 2018, Adam and Josh decided we should probably start reviewing wine. I'm like, what? Like, we're really about to do that? We're about to review wine, and we were going to change the world, man. We did A+ through B-. What's up? We took Robert Parker's and we averaged it out. You know, if Robert Parker was based on the educational system of America, we're just going to do the averages. You know, who's the A+? We were so proud of that, and it was so fun. And like, this one's a B-. This one's a. And after a couple of years, I think Adam got a phone call from somebody and like, yeah, it's not working. You know, like we see the A+ in the retail. It's there next to a 94. It doesn't. This is it. This is who we are. Like Robert Parker did a thing. It's embedded in our culture. There's no way out. So we
don't even see the Jancis Robinson 20-point scale on shelves anywhere.
No,
right? It's 100 points.
In decanter, right. Not even. Maybe decanter once in a while, but it's all the point system. Yeah. And so we had to, not begrudgingly, we just had to do it. It's like, that's it. This is what America wants. This is what drinkers know. We are a young country. Robert Parker's thing, it was in the 70s. I mean, like the Robert Parker thing is very recent. The Marvin Shanken thing is very recent. You know, American wine is it's recent, but it's not very recent. Like that moment in time was those guys were around to help a country that had just gotten out of prohibition, didn't know how to drink wine. So I think they, that's what they did. What was I talking about?
VinePair.
Starting VinePair.
VinePair. Okay. So when you started reviewing wines.
The scoring system. So whoa.
Keith, you're perfect with this group.
Yes. Right. It's all the dead stuff I'm starting to.
All the tie-dye starts to kind of fuck with your brain.
Yeah, exactly, dude. There's a lot of psychedelic colors in here, man. Like, what are we doing for lunch?
Just keep breathing.
You're a living organism, man.
Yeah. We're all sentient. But that's the thing. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, oh my God, we're going to review wine. Like that's what entering into that space as a national publication was something I was not scared. I was very excited to do it, but it was like, okay, this is it. This is what we're doing. So we created our own 100-point system, and we started reviewing wine that way.
Wait, how do you? Yeah. Wait, if there's 100 points, how do you make it your own?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. You ever seen Harry Potter? No, I'm just kidding.
2, 4, 6.
Yeah. It's tough. It's very tough because.
And how were you guys going to make? Like, was this a thing to make money? Or right?
Yeah. So okay. First of all, VinePair was never actually a paper magazine, right?
No,
it was only
digital.
It was only digital. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, so we're native digital.
Digital.
The great. Revenue is generated through advertising. Right. So we don't charge for entries. So when people send wine to VinePair, they said we ask for 2 bottles for TCA in case of cork taint or anything that went wrong. That's it. We don't charge any money to send the wine in except for your shipping costs. Yeah. We don't charge anyone to use our logo. And we're just like, want people to drink. I want people to drink wine, man. Yeah. That's what I want. My entire life. I had an Italian restaurant for 10 years, dudes. Like I had to sit there. I taught people, millennials that are excited about wine before the natural wine movement. God. But we had people like coming and they were excited and it was fun and they wanted to try different kinds of wines and stuff like that. And I sat there and I taught people how to say Nero d'Avola. I taught people how to say Petit Arvin. I taught people about Aglianico, and their eyes were like, this is amazing. This is so great. When I after 10 years of experiencing that, I'm like, that's what I want the country to feel. Yeah. I want the country to be excited about wine, not about status, Not about are you cool or not for this wine. Not about you don't understand in wine if it's not Brettanomyces, like just drink wine.
Yeah.
Let's all just drink wine. I saw this video on the internet. This guy was like, the quality of the wine is determined by the amount of seconds. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. The amount of seconds the finish is. So you count the finish, and depending on the seconds of the finish, that'll give you the quality of the wine. See, this is what we have to. This is what we're up against, guys. Like
if
we
you're
just
a
want
slow counter.
Yeah, like 1, 2.
This wine's
The
amazing.
wines keep getting better the more you drink them because you're counting slower and slower.
I'm just a very slow counter. It's just, so there's a lot of people out there talking about wine on the internet, and I just want people to enjoy wine. So we created this 100-point system, and I'm very liberal with my scores. I just want people to get into stuff. Like when I did the Zinfandel roundup, I was so excited to do it because we'd never done it before, and I was like, no one's done it before. Why? This variety is so important to American wine history. What are we doing? So I gave like the Klein $15 wine at 95.
Yeah.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
That's it. Very simple. So the scoring system for us is not, it's just a way of us to communicate what we're trying to help people drink wine. We don't want any barrier of entry. We don't want to be gatekeepers. We're just people drinking wine. I'm not a somm. I don't have a pen. I never went to WSET. I literally am a dude on the street learning about wine on my own. And I learned through teaching my friends who became owners of a website. It's like, that's really what it is. And all we do at VinePair is just like, we love everything. We love wine. We love beer. We love spirits. We love the culture of drinking. We love cocktails. We love all of it, man.
Well, I think that's what's really important is for people to stop with the stigma of like, I don't know anything about it. I'm not good at it. I don't, it's not intimidating. Like the whole way you get into wine is you just drink it and then you talk about it with your friends, and it doesn't have to be right. It has to be subjective. It's like, what are you tasting? What are you feeling? And the more you do it, the better you get at it. So,
and be honest about what you like and you don't like.
Exactly. You don't have to like something that everyone else likes.
I'm not a big Riesling fan. I don't hate it, but I don't seek it out. I
could
so much
appreciate
trouble
it,
in New York. Are you kidding me? In New York with the Rieslings?
Take different routes home every night so that you don't get jumped by the Riesling mafia.
I'm telling you.
Paul Greco, friend of the pod's got people out there looking for you.
I know, Paul. Sorry, Paul. That's your
but
thing,
buddy. That's okay. It's okay for you not to prefer Riesling. It's okay for you to like other things. We have different taste buds. We are different people who like different things. Wine can be subjective.
Right. And because of this thing called the natural wine movement, which is hopefully dead soon, I'm trying to kill it myself. I will die on that hill. I wrote an article in 2023 called The Natural Wine Flaw. You should read it. It's pretty wild. I just went in.
I think I did.
If someone puts a glass in front of you, and it smells like cider, and it's supposed to be wine, and you don't like it, don't like it.
Yeah.
If someone pushes a Riesling in front of you, like, this just smells like gasoline, I'm sorry, it's not mine. I've had people, I'm not going to name names, but there was an experience recently where somebody told me they didn't like a certain wine. And they're like, I just didn't like it. It just tasted like grapefruit juice. I didn't like it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So what is it? And they look at me, she showed it to me. I'm like, oh, okay, Chateau Montelena, Chardonnay. Okay. Didn't like it. All right. Yeah. I mean, I give that, VinePair gave that one a 98, but like that doesn't, it doesn't really, I'm not here to I'm just here to get people to drink.
Well, I would advise though, if you smell a wine and you don't like the smell, you should always taste it, because honestly, sometimes you can smell a wine, it can be very funky, and then the taste is magical. Yeah. And the funkiness blows off. So give it the full
actually taste the
go
wine.
Through. Yeah.
Exactly. You go through it and you can just confirm yes or no. Because sometimes on the palate, oh, this is a soft fruit. Okay. The nose is a little bit wild. So for me, it's someone who's in wine. I'm like, well, it's going to blow off. Yeah. But somebody who's not in wine doesn't understand the blow off. Like, what is it? What are we doing? What's blowing off? Yeah. So, but so that's, I don't know where we're going with this.
I got it. So I want you to talk a little bit. Wine101 is it weekly?
Yes.
So it's a weekly podcast of your own, and you dive deep into things, and sometimes it takes several weeks to do it. Oh yeah. So first of all, I'm surprised that you're actually not a history major, because of the amount of research you obviously do when you go down these holes. Mm-hmm. What is it that gives you, is this something that you guys talk amongst yourselves, say, let's do a story on this? Is just all on you? And what keys you off to decide to do it?
It's mostly all on me. Nowadays, we have a new series that we're doing where I'm doing specific winemakers. And that was an idea that Adam and I came up with together. But I come up with all of it. Wine101 is a way for me it was originally a way for me to communicate to everybody how I understand wine and how people could learn wine on their own. I actually, before I was in wine, I was in school to be a history teacher.
There you go, Bart. Nice.
Only because the music industry had died. I was in the music industry in New York. I moved to New York City. I had a degree in recording engineering. I came to New York to be in the music industry. I worked in a studio. Recession happened. No, I'm sorry. September 11th happened. So many crises. September 11th happened, shut down everything. I couldn't find a job. I ended up going to BMCC, the community college, because I'd never gone to college. I graduated from high school and just like partied and rock and roll. I was in a band, the whole thing, hair way down to here. But so I was like, I don't know what to do with my life now because there's no one's hiring, no studios are hiring. So I was like, I'm going back to school. I go to BMCC. I'm like, I love history. I always have. I guess I'm gonna be a history teacher. So I go to BMCC. I do that. I transition to Brooklyn College. I'm like, I'm gonna be a history guy. And then I was like working odd jobs in the city, and I got fired from one job, and I got on unemployment, and it was awesome. For 9 months, I just made a phone call, and money went into my account. Yeah. It's like back in the day, I had nothing, so it was like perf.
Oh, and, memories of COVID.
Yeah. So I did that, and I was like, just like making music in the apartment, man, and whatever. And then one day, my wife is like, you have to get a job. Are you enjoying that? You have to get a job. You're smoking all the weed, and you're just making music, and you need a job. I'm like, you're right, I do, thanks. So I just needed you to say that, thanks. So I was at BMCC, and I was sitting in class before the history teacher came in. I'm like, hi, my name is Keith Beavers. I need a job. Before the teacher comes in, I just want to let you know, if anybody has a job, I would like one, please.
He's asking like the other students in the class.
Yeah, the other students in class. And then I sat down. This person next to me, she's like, I have a job for you. Do you want to work at a restaurant in the East Village? I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't care. I can wait tables. I've been waiting tables my entire life. So I got a job at a little restaurant called Max down in the East Village. And that was where Luigi had Iacili opened that up. And then that was my job. And then he opened there was no wine bars in New York City. It was only Bar Veloce was the only Italian wine bar. And then we opened the second one.
What year? What era is this?
2003. Okay. 2003, 2002, 2003, he builds that amazing wine bar. And that's kind of how I got into wine. Again, I'm losing it, guys. I'm sorry.
You're doing just fine.
Okay,
you're doing just fine.
Well, I want to go back to VinePair a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Because full confession that I think that the tack that VinePair took also led to the same sort of pretension that many of us in the wine industry have about wine, about the content that VinePair was putting out there. And hearing it from you now, I'm like, oh yeah, that was totally misplaced of possibly myself and others, about sort of like putting VinePair down as being sort of like overly simplifying things maybe. But I think a lot of us, and especially in the wine industry, don't realize like VinePair is by far the number one source for wine information or drinks information in general, like out there, right?
I would say so, yeah.
So we just going to talk about that, fighting that stigma a little bit, and if that's, if you guys think about that, or
we do,
yeah, I'm sure
we're competitive.
Yeah,
we're very competitive, but we love. The thing is, okay, VinePair is new. Right. We're 11 years old this year, and in America, it takes like 20 years to make something happen. And we've known for a long time since the day one, our ethos has never changed. We were going to be a third, and a third. We're going to talk about wine, beer, and spirits. And in the wine section, we had a lot of work to do because nobody else was out there. And we wanted to be the ones that are out there. And yeah, we were new and we were loud and we were colorful and people didn't take us seriously for a very long time. They're like, okay, yeah, that's fine, cool. And then in 2018, I mean, before we started reviewing wine, people thought VinePair was pretty cool. I think when we started reviewing wine, I think things started getting a little bit, this is my theory, things started getting away like other, like, whoa, what's VinePair doing?
Right.
They're doing wine scores? Like, what's up? The VinePair's success is sticking to your message and never, ever diverting from it. All we want to do is get people to drink wine. We have no like gimmicks. I have no like paywalls. I have no like the podcast is free. You know, the podcast is free. The website is free. Everything. We've always wanted to do this and we've never stopped. We've never sat down and go, okay, we have to change direction. No, we knew exactly what we wanted to do from day one. We want to democratize drinks in America and make it easier for people to access information. All I want people to go out there and enjoy wine. I want them to learn things about wine. We are a young country and we still have a lot of work to do. So we've just through our, I remember every single knock. I don't forget anything. I remember every knock. I am half Italian.
Apologize.
No. No,
I don't think I ever made them any of them public, so it's all good. But I thought them.
No. That's fine. I mean, the thing is, when you're as a reader, that's fine. I mean, that's the thing is like you can come as a reader and go, I don't know. It's the industry that was like, we don't know if VinePair is serious or not, and like, okay, well, wait. And then now everyone's like, okay, wow, all right. So the thing is, like readers, it makes sense. Like, what is this new thing? Can I trust it? I understand that because when you start a new business, you open a storefront, trust me, give me your money. You know, it's all about trust. So we started out in an industry that was already working, already happening. And we understood from the beginning that we had to gain the trust of our readers. And that's really all we care about. I care about readers. Everything else is just noise. So, and I've always thought that our readers are like my customers in my restaurant. Like they're everything. Right. When you read Setting the Table by Danny Meyer, the one thing you take away from that book is every customer in your restaurant needs to think that that's their table and their restaurant. Yeah. And that's how I want to do wine. Yeah. Like, cause I read Setting the Table and I had a restaurant and I understand hospitality, and hospitality is not just like serving. Hospitality is like giving a shit about the person you're talking about. And so that's kind of what we've always done. And that's kind of.
And who handles negative feedback? And I'm going somewhere with this. Who handles, when you get industry people that say, hey, how come you guys are using these clickbaity titles for some of the articles that you're doing? Who's the lucky person that gets to handle
the CEO usually does it. And if you listen to VinePair podcast recently, he did an entire thing about that because somebody came for us. Yeah. And
is this someone we know in this area?
I'm trying to remember. You look familiar. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. No, I can't remember now what it was, but I
mean, you can understand how some of the article headlines were like, and I think I've heard Adam talk about this, is like, hey, we want people to read this article. So yeah, some of the titles of the articles are going to be a little bit like clickbaity. That's it. But then once you get into the meat of the article, you see that we're actually talking positively about things. I think
you're not supposed to judge things by the headline. You actually have to read the article,
right?
What
but
the
but I think
who does that?
I think to Adam's point was, hey, we want as many people as possible to read this article. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes we will do that to bring people in. Right. But then if it's like, hey, Screaming Eagle isn't that great, let me give you other things to drink, or if it's the 5 overrated Napa regions or whatever it is, then it brings people in, and then But the double-edged sword to that is that some people don't read the article, and so then they just see the headline. They respond to the headline, and so they're not getting into the meeting.
Then they get out of it what they put into it, zero.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So this is the thing. This is why VinePair is different than other wine publications. We're native digital, and when you live in the digital space, you put up clickbaity headlines. Yeah. Other publications never had to do that. You knew you had a subscription. The magazine was coming to your house every month. You knew when you opened that magazine what you were going to read. And the headlines were about the thing that you were about to read. if you look at anything in the internet space now, every headline is clickbait. Yeah. Whether it's politics, whether it's wellness, whether it's ADD, because everyone has ADD now. I was diagnosed in '94, yo. But I was on Ritalin. What's up?
Oh, geez.
It was like before Adderall. What's up?
ADD.
What's up? I'm dyslexic. So, but you know, like we. But like.
Would have never guessed, by the way.
No. You should see how I podcast. You should see what it looks like in my studio. It's all legal pads and pencils and erasers. I don't use any pen. But that's how the modern communication happens on now. If you're a publication, you are trying to gain eyes of millions of people. We have 5 million readers a month, and we know that they trust us. Yeah. And we know that they're going to click on the article no matter what because they trust us. And people that don't know us are going to click on it because they're curious. Yeah. That's headline writing. There's actually I think the New York Times has a department that's meant to write headlines. People have jobs.
100%. Yeah.
It's a job, you know, and I think people that it makes sense. And I welcome it. You know, I welcome the criticism. If people think that our headlines are a little clickbaity, then okay.
And cool. I think it was just some bruised people that just because of what's been going on in the wine industry, I'll say the last couple years with, you know, people are talking about negative things. So that if anything negative pops up, they're instantly on top of you. Like, why are you promoting that?
I did it too. If I got a 1-star Yelp review for my restaurant, I spent the day crying. Yeah. It's tough having a business. It's not easy out there. It's tough having a winery because you're a farmer. Yeah. You're dealing with a perennial. You're dealing with nature. It's a lot of work. It's tough. And if people are out there saying like everything's shit, you're like, shut up, stop. But the thing is, we're not the only ones talking about that.
Right.
Everyone. I would rather not. Honestly, I would rather not talk about how bad wine is doing. And if you notice on the podcast, I never talk about how bad wine is doing. Yeah. I talk about how wine has had challenges since ancient times.
How do you really feel about that, Sam?
And I talk about, you know, wine is ancient. It's been around since the Fertile Crescent. It's moved its way all the way to Europe and made its way to Napa. And
Sonoma first.
You're right. Well, Yountville.
Sorry, but
George C.
we're here.
Right.
You know. We're the home of modern wine.
We're not sensitive about this.
We get our IDs checked when we go east.
Right. I forgot about the divide there. The Mayacamas divide.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. But wine is always going to be okay. People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose their businesses. I lost my business. I understand. My restaurant went to shit. And it was in a time in the East Village in Manhattan when my restaurant was no longer a restaurant people wanted to go to. I get it. I hated it. And the weird thing is the night my last night, I was packed.
Of course.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
you announced the closing and like for the next 2 weeks.
Everyone comes in. Right? It was all catch only. Let's empty out the cellar. It was like, they're emptying out the Vino cellar. Let's go. Yeah. It was wild. But, you know, it's tough out there in wine, whether there's a downturn or not. I'm personally like doing these episodes recently talking about how hard it is. I mean, come on, man. Like the Howell Mountain, like forget about it. Imagine like doing that. And like or Alfred Tubbs, the guy who owned the Mayacamas property before that, he literally made wine, put it in a barrel, took that down the mountain and onto the Napa River and then over to San Francisco. That's nuts. And that Alaje does that now with their 1899 Pinot Noir. It's very cool. But like it's rough out there, and you're gonna and then also like what is it? The buildings burn down all the time. They're throughout the history, like because they're like, okay, now I'm gonna do stone instead of wood. Like it's just tough being a business owner in America. It's competitive. We are a capitalist society. We don't have the generational like hand-me-downs that the AOCs, the DOCs, and the DOs have. We literally go to UC Davis and then we go make wine, or we don't and we just go make wine. Right. And, you know, we are a competitive society. We are a capitalist society, and that's just part of it as well. I mean, we are going to continue to compete with each other, and it's just part of who we are. I feel like at some point, it's going to turn around. I mean, the politics out there are really crazy right now. We have very high costs, and we're dealing with inflation. We're dealing with other these outside things that are affecting us as well. I mean, not every all fertilizer comes from the United States. I'm sure there's fertilizer coming from other parts of the world, and like people trying to get stuff in to make their things work. Costs are higher. Everyone's talking about how shitty wine is. It's like, everyone just shut up. But the thing is, what I do is I just keep on. All I do is like drink wine. Just keep on drinking. I just want people to just drink it. Drink wine. It's so good. I understand it might be bad out there, but how about you just drink it?
Yeah.
And part of it, I think, all gets amplified by this whole new, which isn't new, but fairly new thing of like the showing of quarterly profits constantly.
What's that?
Right? Where everyone just has to, if you're not making money this quarter, then something needs to be done. Is like kind of the corporate culture of, then we need to cut labor. We need to find a new CEO.
Right.
And it's like, you guys, sometimes things are cyclical. Sometimes the pendulum swings. Sometimes you're not supposed to be on the rise constantly with every single thing that's put out there in the market.
Right. It's hard not to think that because we live in a competitive
100%
society. So the default is to just go. But people like Maya Camus, for example, never strayed from their vision. They've never changed the way they make wine.
Yeah.
And it's still delicious to this day.
Or the label. Have they ever changed their label?
Not since they changed the colors of the lion.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
And maybe some other little highlights.
Good on them. I hate that when those established brands like go, oh yeah, some new guy comes in and like, we're gonna do a new label. This.
I mean, let's face it. That usually happens when a new head of marketing comes in, right?
Yeah.
The new head of marketing comes in and they want to put their but
they have whatever they want. But I don't think Braden. Maybe I don't know. We should ask him when we were in Miami.
But I mean, examples of like working at larger wineries, a new marketing person comes in. The first thing they want to do is change the label. It's tired, it's old, and I want to put my mark on it. And then that person only lasts a few years, and they move on to something else. And the next person comes in and does it. Whether it's a change in colors, the picture of the tasting room and the door's open, and then the next guy says, no, close the door. I mean, those are all things that I've experienced happen. It's like, really, this is what you're doing?
Haven't you heard of
and you had
the goddamn door?
Yeah, and you had a study group on this?
Yeah, they had focus groups.
Remember the 80s when they had the door closed?
Right.
Those are the days. Yeah. What are they doing now?
All right, can I say kudos on the top 50 list? I love that it had a rosé on it. I love that it had wines from all over the world, but it had a nice representation of some shit that you wouldn't normally see on a top 100 advocate, enthusiast. Right. Let's talk about Maryland.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm from Maryland. I'm from Montgomery County. So I grew up, I was born in Syracuse, New York. I was raised in Alabama and Florida. And then came up to Maryland in 1988. And left Maryland in 1998 to go to Florida again, to go to that school, that Full Sail, which is a recording engineering school. But Maryland is it's very close to me. I love it so much. And never did I know that Maryland wine was a thing. I do remember when I was in DC and someone had poured me a pet nat of Albarino from Maryland. I'm like, that sounds cool. This is pretty good. Wow. And that was just like all I knew. That happened to be Old Westminster Winery. And, I don't know much about Maryland wine because this is what happened. They sent in their Albarino. I scored it. I reviewed it. Then they sent in their Malbec. What? I popped this thing and I'm like, this is like nothing I've ever had in the United States of America. I have never had a Malbec like this, leaning more towards acidity, leaning more towards soft fruit. I mean, it was like and I gave it a 98. And then MJ, I don't know if you guys know MJ Tyler.
I have never heard of him. Who is he?
His success can be linked directly to us.
We gave him a start, clearly.
Wow. Guys, hey, MJ, guess who I'm hanging out with?
We'll text him before this is over. He might call in if we hear this.
He's like, wait. No, I went on to his podcast and I brought the wine and we popped it. We're drinking it. We're talking. And he's like, I'm telling him some dumb story. And he's like, just stop for a second. Can we talk about this wine? This wine is so damn good. It blew my mind. And they ended up selling out of it. It was like Drew got in touch with me on DMs and he's like, thank you so much, man. I'm like, no. thank you, man. You made the wine. I'm a dude in New York reviewing it. Thank you for doing all this work. It's amazing. And I'm from Maryland. And he's like, I'm just so happy. Like, he's like, you don't understand. Like, I was very nervous. I was very nervous. He's like, it's really hard to just send something to New York to and like the response has been crazy. I'm like, no, man, it's delicious. It's amazing. So I have a friend who has a wine podcast called Swirl Sweet. And they're three amazing people, and they live in DC. And Leslie Freelow has been doing Maryland wine tours for like 10 years. So I did a Maryland episode before I started doing the videos on the podcast, and I ended up bringing Leslie Freelow onto the podcast and asking her about everything Maryland wine. And she told me a lot of stuff that I actually need to go and search. So my next thing is I'm going to go down to, I go to Virginia all the time. I think Virginia wine's one of the most important wine. I think Virginia is one of the most important wine regions in America right now. But I go down, I need to get down to Maryland because this is the wild thing. The Bakers, Drew Baker and Lisa Hinton, the brother or sister team that are there, they started a new project called the Burnt Hill Project. And it's a regenerative project in Maryland. Now, this is crazy. I have driven down Burnt Road Hill at least 5,000 times in my life. Like, Burnt Hill Road is here in Damascus, Maryland, where I grew up in Montgomery County, Maryland, is right there. Like,
for the record, his
index fingers are
on
the table.
9
Right, you
inches
can't.
apart.
You take a picture of that? No, just kidding.
We're not like fancy with a video of our podcast. It's just
we weren't either until we had to be.
Yeah, totally.
So it's been nuts.
But your hair to podcast? What the fuck?
Yeah. But it's called Burnt Hill, and it's just so exciting. I haven't tried the wine yet, but it's just. I remember driving down those roads that were all fallow fields. No. And in the distance was our mountain. It's called Sugarloaf Mountain. And it's not part of any mountain range. It's this lone little zit of a mountain. It's like just popped up there. I've rappelled off that mountain. I've been, it's just wild.
I wonder if it's volcanic.
I wonder if it is too.
Because usually when it's just like out of nowhere, yeah.
It might be. I should talk to Drew about that, actually. I need to get down to Maryland. I want to go around Maryland and start understanding it.
Wasn't your mentee?
Yes, my mentee was from their wineries in Maryland called Philosophy Wines.
Okay.
And African American owned winery.
Where in Maryland?
I don't remember.
And she was like part of a collective that were making wine together. And
correct.
Like a custom crush, but sort of like cooperative.
Oh, very cool.
And
facility.
And they had their own tasting room at a tasting room in city somewhere.
I think it was Baltimore, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah.
That's cool.
And it was like the whole thing about it is she was very nervous about like how would they make this happen, and I thought, you know what, if nothing else, that name, some corporate
somebody's going to buy that name.
Will buy that name. Will pay you for that.
Yeah. Some vanity project wants that name.
And then, Eric Klaus, our friend Eric, who used to work for Sam's dad, he moved to Virginia and to Shenandoah Valley, trying to, bring organic agriculture out there, organic viticulture.
When was that?
He's been there for 4 years now? 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Is a winery out there in Virginia?
He's working, and I'm not remembering where he's working exactly off the top of my head. We also have a consulting project that we've worked with a little bit. Yeah. Called Laurel Grove, also in Shenandoah Valley. That's
Laurel Grove.
I've
heard of that.
And they're going all in on regenerative and organic and polyfarming. Did we ever have her on the show, Jackie? I don't think so.
No, we didn't.
Jackie and her husband David, or Dustin, excuse me. I hope they listen. I hope they don't. Are going all in and developing this property in the Shenandoah Valley and integrating sheep and doing some really innovative stuff, and have opened a little wine shop and doing
I think
putting energy into the Shenandoah Valley.
That's great. I mean, that's what the Bakers are doing with their regenerative project in Maryland. One thing about Virginia, I think that people have to understand is
Eric's with a place called Hazy Mountain.
Hazy Mountain?
Yep. Hazy Mountain Vineyards and Brewery.
That's
I've
so
been
Virginia.
On that mountain.
That's so. What I love about Virginia is their naming. They understand the Appalachians used to be as high as the Rockies, and they understand that it separated from Scotland, and over millions of years it got lower and lower and lower. That's why you have a winery called Lost Mountain. You have a winery called Early Mountain, and now you have this. It's all these references to the Appalachia, which is very cool. And I was just in Fauquier County, which is Rappahannock.
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, right? FAUQUI.
Fauquier.
Fauquier.
Right.
Fuck your county.
Fuck your county.
Fuck your.
Kiss your mother with that math.
Fuck your county, dude. Sorry. Dude. What's up? This is Sonoma. Fuck your county.
Sorry, I'm an 8-year-old.
Fuck your county. But yeah, fuck your county and Rappahannock County, they butt each other. So, and it's crazy when you're there because they don't say it like I say it. They say it differently.
Of course they
I
do.
imagine.
And if it, yeah, and I'm like, what did you say? But that area, I don't know if you're familiar with the Skyline Drive at all. In the East Coast, there's the Shenandoah Mountains, and then there's the Blue Ridge Mountains, and there's this thing called Skyline Drive, just runs the top of the mountains. Okay. Absolutely stunning. I've done it plenty of times in my life being an East Coaster. And I'm in Fauquier County, and I'm sitting at, I went to Linden Vineyards, which is, I could talk about that all day. Jim Law was a pioneer, one of the most important pioneers of wine in Virginia in 1987. But also Glen Manor is there, and Crimson Lane. These wineries are 1,300 feet above sea level.
Oh, wow.
They are on extremely inclined hills. They are in absolute slate, granite, shit soil. It is awesome. Yeah. And the vines they're growing there. I have a Nebbiolo in my cellar right now from Virginia that's delicious. And I had an Italian restaurant. It's very weird to have Nebbiolo. When you have an Italian restaurant for 10 years, you're familiar with Nebbiolo on a certain level. And it's very hard.
It doesn't start with a B. You don't really want it.
Right, yeah. Right. One of the bees. But the thing is, I remember once, just as for fun, I put Clendenin's Nebbiolo on my wine, by the glass, just because it was delicious. It was really cool. But Nebbiolo grown in that area makes complete sense. Petit Manseng is what Virginia's doing right now. It's like their Vouvray. It's like their Chenin Blanc. You can make it in every kind of way possible. It's sparkling, sweet, demi-sec, and all that. But Fauquier County and Rappahannock, no one goes out there, and it's just so. I mean, it's like, I don't know. When just being in wine. Everywhere you go to visit, like, signal goes away. That's what wine is. When you're going to visit a winery, you're usually like, okay, I'm going to lose signal at some point. Mm-hmm. But in Virginia, not only do you lose signal, but you also lose pavement. And you also lose two-way roads. And there are times you're driving down these gravel roads, and you're like, I just hope somebody doesn't. I don't know how we're going to
come around the corner.
A banjo I hear in the distance.
Yeah, right. It's just amazing. Then you all of a sudden here's a winery, and then here's these hills, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all these vines like above me. It's amazing, and they're making beautiful, elegant red wine. And I want all wine to thrive, so I love the fact that they're awesome.
What do you think about? So there have been wineries back there for a long time in these states, and I think a lot of them started off as just farmers who started making wine. And now with people from California that are can't afford to live here, that work in production, whether it be on the vit or the production winemaking side, looking for expansion, looking for other places to go. Do you think that that's leading to the improvements in the winemaking and the grape growing in those areas?
I believe.
Is it climate? Is it all of the above?
I think it's understanding the climate for the first time in a long time, understanding the soils and the climate, mostly the climate. And I believe that my understanding of, I've been obsessed with Virginia wine since 2018.
And financial investment also.
Yeah. So this is what's happening. Well, first, okay. So you starting in 1987, Jim Law comes from Ohio to this place and creates this thing called Hardscrabble Chardonnay, single vineyard Chardonnay. Hardscrabbles, if you're from Appalachia and you're a hillbilly, like I'm half hillbilly, hardscrabble is the word because in Appalachia you don't grow things, you shoot things, because nothing grows in Appalachia. It's a mountain, and we call it hardscrabble country because that's what it's called. So the fact that it's called Hardscrabble Chardonnay is pretty cool. It's a good nod to the Appalachian culture. But he comes in, he does that. And the thing is, over time, Matt Schatz does wine. The King family makes wine. Over time, Jim Law figures things out. People start working for Jim Law. Actually, Matt Crafton worked for Jim Law. And they end up leaving Jim Law's with this idea like, okay, Jim Law figured something out. I'm going to take what I learned from Jim Law and go find somewhere else to make wine in Virginia, but utilize his practices. It's like, it was almost like an incubator thing. It was like, he didn't force it. He would do internships and and people would work for him, and imagine that you're a winemaker and you're in Virginia and you're learning under Jim Law and you understand how hard it is, but then because this guy's telling you certain things, you're learning like, oh my God, so it's possible. So if I leave Linden Vineyards, I'm going to try Virginia. I'm not going to go to Napa. I'm not going to go to Sonoma. I'm not going to go to Lodi. I'm not going to go to Livermore. I'm not going to go to Mendocino. I'm not going to go to Temecula. I'm going to go to Virginia, and I'm going to try to, because it's a challenge. Andrei Chelichev left France with Latour in 1938 because he wanted a challenge. Like Andrei Chelichev could have had any job in Europe he wanted, but he went to, below vineyards for a challenge. And these winemakers in Virginia are, and just like winemakers here, they want a challenge. They want to make good wine, and they see challenges. And they like the guys that in the 1960s that went up to Oregon and the Willamette Valley and decided a Pinot Noir does work. Sorry, so that's kind of what's going on. And also, Virginia. So there's 3 areas of Virginia. There's Monticello or Monticello area, which is where Charlottesville, UVA area. Then you have the Linden area, which is Fauquier County, in Rappahannock.
My favorite county in Virginia.
Yeah. Then you have Loudoun County, which is the north. These are 3 great wine regions. And in Charlottesville is very awesome because they do a festival every year called 2 Up, Wine Down. And it was started by Reggie Leonard and Tracy Love from Blenheim Vineyards, which is David Matthews' vineyard. Great wine. Christy Harmon, hi, you make great wine. She's amazing. But they did not see enough inclusivity in the wine industry, so they started this thing called 2 Up, Wine Down, which is it's all about diversity and inclusion in wine. It's just in its 4th year, and I love it so much. It's what we should be doing in America with wine, democratizing wine, making wine accessible to everybody who wants to make wine. Do you want to make wine? Make wine. It's just that kind of vibe. It's very, very cool. And I go down every year. That is also, there's a place called Commonwealth Crush. It's a custom crush facility. And Petit Manseng is thriving in Virginia right now. So the custom crush facility was owned by Lee Campbell and Ben. I'm sorry, man, I can't remember.
Is Lee still down there doing that?
No, she's in New York now at Borgo,
Okay.
at a restaurant called Borgo, doing the wine program, bringing Virginia wine to the wine program, which is really great. But I think she does go down. She makes wine down there. Yeah. She has her own wine, and that's what Commonwealth Crush is. Commonwealth Crush is this really great place where anybody can make wine. They only ask to use Petit Manseng. They could be like 1%, 5%, or whatever, and it's allowing young winemakers who want to figure this thing out. Like, I'm going to go in and make wine. This is so fun. And these wine labels come. I've reviewed a few of the wines. Actually, one of the wines made our top 50. So what's happening in Virginia is this like intense excitement. And part of that excitement is Jim Law figuring it out. All these people leaving. It's not just Jim Law. It's Matt Schatz and everybody else. But Jim Law, I have a connection with Jim Law's wines with my family. Not because I'm not part of the family, but like they've loved Hardscrabble Chardonnay since the 90s. So I just know that. But recently, there was a winery in Virginia called RDV, and it was a guy who had a bunch of money and he has spare no expense, like Jurassic Park style. I'm going to make all this stuff happen, but he didn't want to be like a millionaire that just came in and did a vanity project. He actually wanted to do some shit. So he did it, and he did a pretty good job. And I had never tasted RDV wine, but recently it was bought by Chateau Montrose. I think it's called Montrose. Maybe it's called Montrose. So, as you guys know,
big deal yeah.
As you guys know about in California, when the Bordelais show up, something's going on.
Right.
The Bordelais show up, they're like, the Bordelais are here. Like, hey, I like your hill. I enjoy your granite. It's very nice. Like, I think we can make very good wine. So they literally bought RDV, and so now RDV is called Lost Mountain. And I went there to visit, and I had for the first time I was able to taste these wines, and they are goddamn.
The RDV wines are good.
Elegant. I had a 2013. What are we doing? Elegant, beautiful wine.
The restaurant Kinship and Métier in DC.
Love Kinship. Love Métier.
I had an amazing experience there. I probably shouldn't talk about it because I think this guy's in the NSA or something. But he did order a bottle, and he just like went all friends with the chef. He like got us a special menu. We walked in tie-dyed, t-shirts, dirty in this like restaurant. We were downstairs. Everybody is in like sport coats and hush tones, and we come in all loud and drunk. He ordered a bottle of Petrus that night.
Oh, dear.
Which was like, all right. And then he ordered a couple bottles of the RDV wines because there's some connection between that restaurant and RDV at that time.
Okay.
And, you had RDV Virginia wine on the same table as a Petrus. Obviously, the Petrus was the Petrus. But I was like, oh, this shows up.
Yeah.
It was
It has depth,
surprising.
it has elegance, it's structured. I mean, the guys, they know what they're doing. It's great.
And our friend Kelly is a big supporter of
But she was
Cross Keys.
Oh, there's
GM
something
Cross-
wrong.
Shenandoah. She's a big supporter. I think used to work for them and still does a little bit of PR.
I reviewed their Sauvignon Blanc. I think I gave it like a 93 or something like that.
Yeah.
She's now in Atlanta, does the A Cork on the Road podcast. Another wine
Oh,
podcaster.
I know her.
Yeah.
I know her. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Another friend of the podcast. You gave her start too, didn't we? No.
Yeah, right.
Her and MJ. We're responsible for it all. All right. Sorry, guys. We love you.
Yeah. So, we had someone coming and picking up their wine shipment, so I had to step
It's
out
important,
there
man. Get
Selling
people their
wine,
wine.
It is the goal.
If they don't take it out the door, they can't
We're just
open
a
the
podcasting
corks.
studio.
Right.
Exactly. It's a podcast studio that doubles as a tasting room occasionally.
Right.
Perfect.
So, are you visiting anyone while you're out here?
Just you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're visiting family, I default to them. I ask permission to be here.
How long are you out for?
I'm leaving Sunday.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're just hanging out with fam. We're gonna go in Petaluma. We're going to the new Italian restaurant, the new Napoli restaurant in downtown.
Oh yeah, the one on the corner of the Boulevard and
Yeah.
Washington.
Right.
We have
Yeah, it used to be the Thai restaurant,
50% of the podcast.
Oh,
is
and then
Petaluma
used to
native.
be
Okay.
Vino.
and it used to be
Fino's back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Familiar with
And then Cafe Brigitte we're going to one night,
Right.
which is wild. You see
I don't
this
know
guy?
about that place.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's from Carcassonne, and he has a little French bistro in Petaluma.
So it's where Three Cooks used to be.
Oh, no way.
And it's-
that place used to be a shithole breakfast joint.
Oh,
It was
really?
the
Oh, it
best
was the
breakfast
best.
in
oh
town.
well, shithole breakfast joints are the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have diners in New Jersey. We know. But it's cool. They do like steak tartare tableside. Cool. They present the steak, the quail egg, and all the
Yeah.
condiments, and the accoutrement. Sorry, and they put it in the bowl, and they like mix it up for you, and they make it happen. It's very cool. They also do other things tableside. It's like, and they all wear their French hats. It's like very like stereotypical and cliched, and I love it. And it's just like it's the best. And his mom's
That's good. I
name
feel
was
like
Brigitte.
COVID kind of killed a lot of that kind of stuff, like tableside doing steak tartare and Caesar salad and the crepes and all that shit, because it would just everything kind of got dumbed down.
Everything
for a
got
little while.
touchless, yo.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
Can't
thankful
order
for
tableside
touchless.
from a QR menu, right?
yeah. Bring
Those
that shit
finally
back.
died out. At some point, I was like, "This is cool technology," but this is cool technology, but we don't really need it now. Like, can we just not? Can I just have a menu, please? Because the thing is, like, I went to one restaurant and they're like, "What would you like?" I'm like, "Well, so I tell them what I want. No, you order it on the app." So I ordered it on the app, and they come out and they confirm what you just ordered. I'm like, "We could have done this, you and I."
There would have been a touch point. There was a touch point that was lost.
Right. It was, and they don't do it anymore. Fortunately, they're back to having menus, but.
An upsell opportunity though.
Well, like I go to a restaurant not to look at my phone. Like I'm trying to like eat food and look
Have
at people in the
combos.
eyes.
Yeah, and listen to other people's conversations. You hear what they're saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't want to look at my phone to try and
Eavesdrop
order.
on first dates.
It's we did it because we had to, and like now it's like we don't have to, man. Let's all get back to talking to each other. It's pretty cool,
I asked MJ if he had anything he wanted to ask you, and he just wants to know if VinePair's hiring.
Or sponsoring podcasts.
Yeah,
I will direct you to
Pass that up the
the
chain.
CEO.
yeah.
An HR department.
Yeah,
Speaking of not using phones, so I was in London recently. Went to a Japanese listening bar, and then so it's you go to a bar and they have an extensive vinyl collection, and they put an album on. People can pick out albums, and then the bartenders. It's a very crafty kind of
That's pretty
bartender spot. But then I was just watching something last night about doing something similar, but I think it was in New York, and it was a place where people go to listen to house music, but you're the person who's pouring the wine actually talks about the wine and talks about the album and the history of the music, and they make you turn in your phones on the way in the door.
What is this place called?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Man, it's in New York?
They stole your idea.
Yeah, I know. Like, did they ever come to Vivo In Vino? Well, we had them live. We don't have vinyls.
Right.
We brought the artists in. But that's cool.
Wait, does the winemaker pick which album they play?
I don't think it got that extensive into it. It was just like, hey, this is kind of a cool new thing where you have the focus of people that are coming in the door, and then you're talking about the wine and talking about the music, but not, I guess the kind of the point was that instead of just putting a record on, you just like talking about the wine, you're talking about the music, and not just about that particular album, but the history of the band, and just getting a little bit more extensive. So creating a different experience for people than just a typical tasting.
Layers of creativity that parallel each other. Wine and music is absolutely 100%. That way. You know, I'm a musician. I've been playing guitar since I was 12 years old. Music is everything to me. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I mine Spotify every Friday. I love Gen Z, man. They're killing it right now. Have you heard the shoegaze they're doing?
No.
It's like they take the best of Nirvana, the best of Smashing Pumpkins. They're taking the best of some of the Cure and all these bands.
Cocteau Twins.
And they're literally like making music from the best of those bands. And it's just, like, there's a band called Soft Cult from Canada right now. They're incredible. A band called Greet Death from Flint, Michigan. Oh my God, they have a song called Country Girl that is like, it's really amazing.
Looking it up right
I'm like
now.
losing my shit over these bands. Like in the R&B scene is like amazing right now. These young kids understand Gen X.
Yeah.
Blowing, you know, as a Gen Xer, I'm so proud. Like I'm like you guys are doing such a great job. Because I just got my Spotify Wrapped. You know how every year they tell you, and I'm literally it's all these bands. Flip Turn, stop right now.
I know.
Flip Turn is
That's
probably one
my
of the
daughter's favorite band.
They're one of the best bands in the world right now.
Yeah.
They're incredible. I've listened to Flip Turn. That's my number. I've listened to Flip Turn more than any band this year.
Yeah, I think it's in her top 5 for sure.
They're out of this world. They give you the vibe of some of the best musicians of the 70s and the 80s. Like the quality of musicianship, like whether it's the Grateful Dead or Fish or Sade's band or these guys know music. They're from Florida. Some of the best things that come out of Florida. And it is... I lived in Florida, I can say that, but I'm loving it. They're incredible, and like music is. I love music, and I think that the excitement that people get when they hear a song they love is the same you would get in a wine.
Yeah.
You know, you get this like endorphin rush. Like, oh my God,
Dopamine
that wine's
fixers.
so goddamn good.
For us ADHDers.
Yes, exactly. Have you guys ever seen The Big Night?
Yes.
Okay, so
Stanley Tucci.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is how my reaction to good wine is basically that guy in that scene where they're all having dinner, and the guy that knows the critic that's supposed to come in is like, I could fucking kill you. He says it very, very quietly. Everyone's talking. And he's like, I could fucking kill you. And everyone's talking. And then he goes, I could fucking kill you. And he slams the table. And everyone's like, whoa, what's going on? The chef comes out like, what's going on? He walks up to the chef. Everyone's quiet. Gets up in his face. I could fucking kill you. And Tony Shalhoub's like, why? This is the best fucking dish I've ever had in my entire life. And that's how I feel about good wine. I want to throw things at the wall. I want to kick things. I want to like scream and curse and be like, what the fuck am I drinking right now? How is this product affecting all the things in my face? Yeah. It's just absolute. Wine is the only thing that comes from, I mean, we have beer as a recipe. You distill grain. Wine comes from, it's one of the only alcoholic beverages we have that's so intimately connected to nature, more than anything else, and it's ancient as hell. And I think that the music and the wine thing is so important.
Do you miss that instant gratification of recommending a wine and seeing people's face?
I do. Yeah. I miss working in a wine bar.
Yeah,
I love it, man. I love a busy night, and I'm in the weeds. Yeah. But I know that I got my shit down. You know, when you're in the weeds, but you know you got your shit. Like I'm busy. Yeah. But I'm getting it done. I'm gonna get some tips tonight.
That's when you're almost at your happiest. Is when
and then like you're getting people into shit. You're like, dude, this is this is a Nirodavla.
And they're listening. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Like this is like it is the one of the most, it is part of when I fell in love with wine, that's one of the things that I fell in love with. I love seeing people smile drinking good wine. That's it, man. I love it. Yeah. And that's why the natural wine movement sucks so bad, is because no one's enjoying the wine.
Yeah.
They're just going, so it's Pinot Noir. It's interesting. It's supposed to taste like, from what I read on Wine101, Keith said that Pinot Noir has cherry, and this kind of smells like, I don't know, like my basement. That's the way it's supposed to taste. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's natural wine.
Isn't that kind of a form of intimidation too, where the traditional wine, used to be, where
exactly
it's like a gatekeeper thing, but it's kind of in a way of you're not cool if you don't get it.
Exactly.
Right?
And that was a problem. We were doing so well. After the recession, a lot of these somms lost their jobs. They had to go into more casual restaurants. Somms started wearing jeans. It was a thing. And it was a fun time. And I'm like, these somms are coming out of these fine dining restaurants and they're coming into these normal spaces because this thing... Let's be real here. When you become a sommelier, your job is to sell wine to rich people.
Yeah,
that's what you do. You go into fine dining, you wear a suit. It's a hermetically sealed environment. People come in, and you don't talk to I have a great wine for you tonight. It's like, I want a Camus.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Here's your Camus. That's literally what that's what you are as a somm. And then when you leave this fine dining, hermetically sealed place, it's the real world with people and personalities and questions and stuff like that. And they went out and like, oh, this is wild. Wow. Like Laura Manick opened a wine bar called Cork Buzz, and like all these things started happening. Then the natural wine movement came around, and that fun, laid back somm vibe died because the bullyish, weird hipster intensity of, no, you will like natural wine. You will like it. That happened. And it got to the point where I was like, no. That's not how we do wine in America. We don't force people to drink shit. And then we don't tell people they don't know shit when they drink shit. We say, drink this wine and enjoy it. I don't like it. Okay, let me find something that you do like. Yeah, right. Done. Simple. That's it. Oh, well, this wine is made in a certain way where we let Brettanomyces infect the wine. Right. And then we encourage volatile acidity. And what we're really excited about is that no matter what grape this wine is made from, it's going to taste the same as every other wine on the list. That's what we're excited about. And if you don't like that, that's okay. We'll find something that you like. I was in Burgundy recently for the first time in my life. Wow. That place is amazing. I get it.
See, those are the kinds of breaking news stories that we look for in VinePair.
I'd click on that.
Wow.
Burgundy. It's cool.
That's the name of this podcast episode. But I was there, and I was with a friend. Well, he's a friend of mine now. He was the person I was traveling with. He lives in Carcassonne as well. He's an American, but he lived in Bordeaux for 8 years and then moved to Carcassonne. He missed the entire natural wine movement. He didn't even know it existed. So I called natural wine. I call it the Natch. It's like a disease. So you got the Natch. So we looking at the itinerary.
There's
I'm like,
vaccine, by the way.
I was going to say, you take antibiotics for that or what?
Yeah, it's called nut natural wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Sulfur.
Yeah, it's just anything else but that. But I'm looking at the itinerary. I'm like, I'm really interested in this. The name of this restaurant's interesting. So I look it up online. I'm like, oh no, we're in Burgundy. And there's a Natch in Burgundy. So that one night we had to go to this restaurant. So we're at this restaurant, and Tim, I love it. He's like, what is this? I'm like, because all the wines are everywhere. I'm like, dude, Natch, just pointing at all these wines. And he's like, every wine here you think? I'm like, I think so, man. And sure enough, we start drinking the wines, and they're all Brett. They're gone. And so I'm like, look, bring the guy over, like, look, man, like, can you please, we just would like a wine with no Brettanomyces, no volatile acidity.
That is the weirdest thing that you have to tell someone.
It's wild, right?
I'm like,
can you please just a wine that's representative of the variety in which it's made? Right. He's like, well, the wines that I've been given, like, I'm sorry, as a customer, I don't agree. I would just want, so he brings over a Barbera. I'm in Burgundy. Bon. Barbera. Okay. So, all right. Cool, Barbera. So this is a Barbera. It's like a Barbera. It's like, this is Barbera through and through. Okay. Nope. It was Brettanomyces. It was swampy as hell. And I'm like, dude, let's get out of here. So we left, paid the bill, left and ended up at a little wine bar around the corner. And we had like 4 glasses each of Premier Cru, Côte de Nuit. And we paid, I think, for all 6 or whatever glasses, I think we paid like 20, 30 euro. Right. That's Burgundy to me. And the thing is, like, that restaurant was packed. This is the problem I see with natural. People have been, when generations come online, whatever trend is happening is what they're into, right? Because that's the trend that's in front of them. It was when it was the cult cab movement, when it was the old vines in movement, when it was the organic and biodynamic movement. That's when I had my businesses, and I had so much fun because everybody was into indigenous grapes, and that was actually a great time. And so, like, millennials, like the CEO of VinePair that's how we met. Like, he's a millennial. He was like exploring wine, trying to understand it. And we met, and that happened. And VinePair came out of that. But like, Gen Z's coming online now, and this stubborn ass term that means nothing called natural wine, because saying the term natural wine assumes everything else is not. And that is factually, scientifically wrong. And if you go and if you're stubborn and you go down that path, you're going to be an unhappy person, because natural wine is like not happening anymore. But the Gen Z generation, when they came online to drink, that's what they had. So they're clinging to it because they're learning it's not their fault. It's the wine people's fault. It's the fault of the people forcing wine that was unclean to people and saying, no, this is good wine. Look, if you think it's good, it's great. I don't. Personal preference, right? That's what's supposed to be. And if you have a business, why would you, if you can have fun. I want people to call wine just like it's funky. Why does it have to be natural?
Can you also understand why it turns people off to wine? Mm-hmm. If they're given something and they say, this is natural wine or this is wine, and it's defective, but they're told, no, this is the way it is, how you wouldn't want to go back and try wine again.
The problem
You'd give me that RTD.
Well, the problem is they start to like it because they don't know anything else.
Or they drink kombucha, and for them it's very familiar.
Right, because it's basically the same thing.
Right.
But the thing is, I mean, yeah, I've watched it happen. I've seen people like they get into these funky wines and they think that's what wine is. And then you give them something like Chateau Montelena, or you even give them something like a Sky Zinfandel, or you give them something like an old vine Contra Costa Zinfandel from, did I say Klein?
Klein Cellars.
Yeah, and that's very good wine. And they'll be like, oh, what's this? Like, that's wine without Brettanomyces. That's wine without the spoilage yeast that you've been drinking for the past 5 years, because in New York City, they're forcing it down your throat. I mean, in New York City, imagine, when I go to a wine bar in New York City, I have to be just like in Burgundy. I'd be very specific. I would like a wine with no Brettanomyces and no volatile acidity. You know what I'm talking about, right? I don't want natural wine. I'm here to spend money. I'm here to give you money. And I really, really, please, can I have a clean wine tonight? Why are we here? What are we doing? This is America. We supersize everything, right? 1964, Jules Chavot had a really cool idea. He was a chemist. He's like, how can I make Gamay wine and Beaujolais without any intervention? Okay, that's a fun experiment because I'm a chemist. Okay, then he makes it happen. And then 4 dudes, the gang of 4, like, we want to do that too. And we want to do it exactly because we are his acolytes. We're going to do exactly what he did with respect to Chavot. Brought those wines to Paris. They're like, oh, this is really neat. A young Jamie Good is hanging out in Paris in the 90s. Like, what is this? Because he started writing about it. And then it comes here. What do? We supersize it. We take something that's very fragile, an idea that is it's actually not low intervention. It's actually a lot of attention. Because if you're going to make a wine without SO2, you better be paying attention to that wine.
Absolutely.
And if you don't, you're going to have crap. And American winemakers did not maybe understand that. And there was a time and we were hearing people were buying barrels with Brett. That
on purpose?
Yeah. Like, it got to the point where
Brett was synonymous with natural wine.
It was.
And it's not, the point of natural wine is to be low intervention and make a really great, perfect wine without any sulfur. But if you're just making something that's defective, then that's not the point.
You also can't do it with bad grapes.
Yes.
Grapes have to be
it has to be grown well in the vineyard. Like, it has to be pristine grapes. You need a lot of...
Well, and if they're not organic, what's the point?
Can you filter natural wines? Are you allowed to filter?
There is no.
Doesn't mean anything.
As long as the label is drawn by your child and it smells like bread, it's natural wine.
It has to be a hipster sketch.
Well, because that's so one of the things that I was kind of like I can feel your upsettedness about
like
natural
energy.
wine, but like we know a lot of winemakers.
There's a lot of
out
tension
here,
in this
and
discussion.
I have had natural wines that are good. I mean, like we said,
Sky.
Sky.
I mean, but they sulfur though.
I don't. So anyway, I think that it can
But
be
it is a natural
done
wine.
well, but the thing is, it's not a good business model because what are you going to do? Like, 80% of the time it doesn't work. What are you going to do with those 80 wines? You have to sell them and shove them down people's throat and say this is natural
They
wine.
did that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, wine, the thing is, what people don't understand when I say these things is people think I hate natural wine. And that's not true. I
don't know how they could have possibly gotten that impression.
I hate the term natural wine. Yeah. I hate the term. I think the term is I cannot educate on natural wine. Everyone has their own definition, but this is the thing. If you want to make funky ass wine, go for it. There is an audience for it. Just don't call it natural. You know, like you right. don't. Fermentation is natural. If you, again, natural wine assumes every wine other than that is not. And every wine is natural. Every wine is made from the earth. Every vine grows from soil. Every person crushes grapes, whether it's barefoot or whether it's my Camus. People crush grapes and things are fermented. Science happens naturally, and that's wine. Sometimes you want to have a barrel that has Brettanomyces in it. Cool, make your funky wine. Call it whatever you want to call it, but don't call it natural. Yeah. It's not. It's just a wine you made, and you did it this way. And you decided to do it this way and give it to people. That's all it is. It's nothing more than that.
I feel like it was a pushback in some ways of younger people not wanting to drink things that their parents were drinking and wanting to be
or something
experiment
that's so
with
like
unique
QC.
Varietals and then, saying it's low intervention. Oh, and hey, when you make low intervention wines, this is kind of a byproduct of it. And hey, we're, there's a cornhole tournament going on and we're...
Yeah, every generation. I mean, dude, I'm Gen X, of course. Gen X we did everything to rebel against our parents. Right. And that was that's our generation is rebelling against not, that's just what we did. And it's true. I mean, like you don't want to drink what your parent, it's absolutely true. I
don't know. I'll love to drink what your parents drink. I love to drink what my parents drink.
My parents drank, Kendall Jackson when they were doing the bills and stuff like that. They weren't wine people. Actually, they drank hard scrabble Chardonnay from Linden Vineyards on occasion, which was really nice. But,
but it was a pushback in some ways. But here's the thing that I will take positively from the natural wine movement. It has brought more young people into wine that I think maybe wouldn't have been there before.
I agree.
And I first went into New York to sell 16600. I think it was 2012. And that was probably at the beginning of the peak of New York's natural wine. And everybody wanted to talk about what I did in the cellar and wanted to turn every somm would turn the bottle around and look at the alcohol. Which before even trying it. Right. And it was just like, it was,
yeah, that's really annoying.
It was such a slog and a lot of hitting walls trying to break through to that. And in the last few visits, even though we're actually with a small distributor who would probably describe themselves as a natural wine distributor, obviously I don't consider ours, it feels like the pendulum has shifted in the New York wine market, where people are back to talking about how the grapes were farmed and don't care about the alcohol, don't care about whether we sulfured or filtered.
Is this indigenous yeast? Like, what do you guys do?
Well, and the irony, we can get into
indigenous to the winery
science of all of it. Yeah, exactly. It's indigenous to whatever the most powerful strain in our custom crush facility.
The William Sellium yeast that was used here 15 years ago.
Every year for the last 30 years, and it's fermenting every wine in California. Yes.
No, but that is amazing. Like, I'm actually, it's funny when I've been in wine for over 20 years, and I've watched trends come and go, and I've watched people get caught up in these trends. And I watch people say things that like nowadays they probably would not say. Like, I remember being on these wine trips and people going, is this ambient yeast? Like, do you care? Right. Like, is the wine good? They use the yeast that they use to make good wine. What do you care whether it's ambient, indigenous, or bought? It doesn't matter. Also, most indigenous and ambient yeast was bought 20 years ago and is now in the winery because it's just been there for a while, but they did buy it at one time. So yeah, I guess it's indigenous. I guess it's ambient. Like, that is not. But what's weird about that is But I'm not hearing those questions anymore. Yeah. So these are fads and trends. Like wine will, and this is the whole thing with wine and the challenges of selling wine now. It's challenging. It is. And it's going to be. That's it. Until it's not. That's just it. It's going to be challenging until it's not.
It was challenging.
Absolutely. And I think we're at a time now, we're getting out of the natural wine movement. And I think we're at a time where we can actually start just looking and enjoying really good wine, whether it's funky or not. Just drink great wine.
Can we start a new scale of deliciousness?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
100 point.
1 to 100 of deliciousness.
Yes, that's a lot of delicious points.
Right?
Like I'm in delicious number 98. Where are you guys right now? Delicious 93.
I didn't take a B+ in deliciousness.
You know what? Right? A- to B+. I don't know, guys. That was kind of cool. I really enjoyed doing the A+ and B- stuff. And now, whenever we enter the reviews into the back end of our, of the website, those. In the drop down with all those are still there, like the 94s and A+. They're all there because we just don't want to let go.
It's coming. It'll just hold on to it. It'll come back.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring it back. I don't know.
That's awesome.
What are you working on for the future?
Just more Wine 101.
Yeah.
And just doing the same thing I did last year.
Cool.
And VinePair is growing and growing. We have there's a lot of things in the works, and it's a lot of stuff that when it comes to fruition, it's going to be awesome. I can't talk a lot about all of it, but I will continue to do Wine 101. And what's happening with Wine 101 is I'm currently going through famous wineries in America because listeners out there in America that drink wine want to know about these names because this is part of the American wine history. And after that, I'm going to Bordeaux, then Burgundy. So I'm going to start doing deep dives into some of the most famous left bank, famous right bank, all the famous ones. I'm going to do I think all of the 1855 classification, and then I'm going to go to Burgundy and just start messing around in domains.
And is this just to get samples, or are you doing it so people listen? I mean, is that what's motivating this?
If samples would like to be
what's the grift?
Reach out on at VinePair Keith on Instagram, and I will give you my New Jersey address, and hopefully you can send it there.
Did you get a chance to try those 00 Pinot and Chardonnay?
Just the Chardonnay.
The
black Chardonnay.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite wines that we tried.
So damn good. Yeah. It was my first time trying that wine.
Yeah.
It was really good. And as it opened, I mean, it was like one of those wines where we tried it. Because our top 50, I don't know if you know, like our top 50 is not me.
Well, you had...
Right, it's your group.
So,
it's the whole group.
Right. I know, but you definitely had some input because throughout the year you were kind of bringing in wines and talking about
I'm also quite
some
loud.
of the wines.
Yes, I'm very annoying. If I like something, Adam's
Great
like,
for
okay, Keith, you like Virginia wine. My God, Keith.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy being like ADD. I'm like, I get into something and it's everything. But yes, we do initially taste, most of the wines we taste are from the year's best that I've reviewed. But also wines that people have had throughout the year that like Hannah liked a few wines. She brought them in that I didn't review. Yeah. And one or two of those made the list. What's really wild about the top 50 is like I review wine. I'm doing it. I'm reviewing it. I'm making decisions. I'm scoring it. Blah blah blah. The end of the year, I really only input I have is I've reviewed these wines,
right?
Because we sit down, we get there at 10:30 a.m. We don't stop until we're finished. We taste hundreds of bottles that we've tried throughout the year. Then we find our top 50. We line them up on the bar and we fight.
Yeah.
Like, which one goes in the top 5, top 10, top 20? And we all want our bottles in certain spots. So we have to very strict. Then, like, part of the decision is like the tasting is hours long, but the decision process is like an hour as well. We just sit there and we stare at these bottles like, no, that one's going to go there. Yeah. Are we sure? Yeah, that's going to be 15. All right, it's 15. That's 12. That's 12, guys. Yeah. That's 10. That's it. That's 10. Then we decide our number one, and then we wring our hands about the number one. Like, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? Mm-hmm. But we all come to, it's the entire editorial team coming together for a decision, not just me, which is, I love. That's part of democratizing wine, because these people, my fellow employees, these people I'm working with every day, these people, the editorial team,
sorry, they're not going to listen. No.
Bart's
mom, that's the only
they love wine, and they love wine, and they're good at wine, but they're not. Wine is not their career, their editorial, so it's kind of great getting their palates involved, not just mine.
Yeah.
So
a lot of martini talk. A A lot of martini and Negroni talk going on.
I have to admit, for someone who knew nothing about martinis, I have learned a lot about martinis from listening to the show.
The Cocktail College?
Yeah,
I know. You know, Cocktail College is no longer in existence.
Maybe not so much that, but maybe just when on the podcast when they're talking about what they've been drinking.
Yeah,
on the VinePair podcast.
Oh, the VinePair podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I walked away and came in and inserted myself into a conversation.
I know. I love that. I mean, we do love martinis at VinePair. So the thing is, for me, I had a restaurant and a wine shop with no liquor licenses. So I was a block. My restaurant was like a block and a half away from Death & Co. And I was actually at Death & Co. on opening night. And I was like, this is dumb. I'm like, I don't know shit about cocktails. Like we would do a punch bowl. We're doing a punch bowl. Now I'm drunk. I don't know. I'm going to go back to my restaurant and open a Brunello. Right. But I didn't, and like some literally bread. Like Amoria Margo is right next door. I didn't realize what was happening because I was a wine person. Like I literally love wine so much, give a shit about everything else. Right. Then I started producing Cocktail College, and I started realizing, talking to these experts, like, oh my God, cocktails are cool. Like, wow, like they're building these things. And like, but I really love the simplicity of the martini. Right. Like, cause Italian food, like the caprese salad, I think is the best example of how Italian food is, because it is the most simple Italian dish, but every single ingredient better be the best ingredient if you're going to have a caprese salad. And it's the same thing with a martini. It's such a simple drink, but if you do it right in the right proportions, it is just, you guys know, I mean, it's delicious. Yeah. And I didn't know any of that kind of chemistry. Right. So I'm obsessed with classic cocktails now. And what I do, actually, for example, every time I did this episode for pink gin, it's really gin, bitters, stir, in a coupe, done. And we did the pink gin episode, and the guy that was the expert was like, literally, mate, I'm traveling all over the world. I get to a hotel. The first thing I do is I ask for a pink gin. Then I'm right. I'm like, all right. You know those videos like on the internet on like the memes, like they watch somebody do something cool and they go, I'm gonna try it, and they go and try it. So I was like, I'm gonna try it. So I get to Charleston. We do the Charleston Food and Wine Festival every year, Food and Wine Festival, and I get to the hotel. And I'm like, I would like a pink gin, please. They're like, what the hell's a pink gin? So I'm like, I'm like, it's right here. And they're like, that's not a cocktail, but we'll make it for you. I'm like, it's a fucking cocktail. Right. So they made it for me every time.
Bitters and ice.
That's it. Right? Yeah. But make it skate, bro. And so like, I want to see flex, brother. I want flex of ice. But it's amazing though, because when they make it, they're like, because when the bitters hit the gin, it turns pink, and you stir it, and it's so cool. And the bartenders like lose their minds, like, we don't even know. This is awesome. I'm like, right?
3 weeks later, it's on the menu.
It's on the right. Exactly. So I love it. Every time I go to a hotel that has a bar, I'm like, I got a pink gin, please. Sometimes it's not made the right way. Sometimes not the right way. Sometimes it's made in a way that I'm like, woo, there's a lot of bitters in this one.
Can I have a little more gin for my bitters?
Yes, exactly. No, but I love these classic martinis. Like, I love martinis.
Thanks for taking time out on your little family vacation.
Right. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This is so cool.
Give our best to your family. Thank them for lending you us.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully,
you don't have to answer this question, but MJ is now pressing me on top 5 rappers of all time.
Oh God, dude, geez.
Top 5. He can just drop
rappers, or can he? Rappers or groups?
Because he doesn't know. Or because he wants to know what Keith thinks.
He wants to know what Keith thinks. Yeah.
I mean, we can do rappers, and we can do rappers in groups. Like, I'm going to say Jay-Z number 1.
Okay.
Writing hip-hop history without a pen.
All right.
Dude never wrote a thing down. He's a goddamn genius.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a 90s kid. Like, I love,
New York Nas.
I like Nas. I'm more of a
KRS-One
fan. KRS-One from Queens. Okay. I love KRS-One. I love Bone Thugs and Harmony. I love Bone Thugs. Was that 3?
Texas in the house. That's 4. If you're agreeing with us.
Don't
say Drake.
God, Drake's not a rapper.
Who would say that?
Yeah, exactly.
Drake's not a rapper. Drake's a personality.
Something that starts with a P. Oh, pop star. Right.
Yeah, he's a pop star. Man, he really caught me off guard there. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of all my I'm trying to get back in the 90s. I mean, I love the Diggable Planets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love
De La
Most
Soul,
Def is
Tribe,
incredible.
Most Def.
You know, I love. I mean, I've been listening to hip hop. I mean, Run DMC. Let's go. I mean, Beastie Boys. I love. I mean, like, as far as the hip hop artists, I think
Tupac. Anyone?
I was never a big Tupac fan or a Biggie fan. I was more of a Jay-Z, Nas.
East Coast, West Coast runs deep, man.
Yeah, it does.
I like.
But also, guys, we have
I
to
don't see
understand.
Coast.
You know what, MJ? Hey, MJ, check this out, dude. Hey, MJ, listen to Little Brother from North Carolina.
Oh boy.
I think Little Brother is one of the best hip hop groups that was ever around, and they only did 2 albums and they quit hip hop forever. And they are absolutely, there's an album called The Minstrel Show, and it is absolutely beautiful. When Kanye was coming up and he was kind of big, when he first started getting big, he went down and did a track with them because he's like, these guys are good. Little Brother is incredible, and Big Pooh is the head of it, and he's incredible. Actually, recently, Violet's Paradise did an event with Big Poo.
Oh no way.
Yeah, it was very cool.
We're gonna get her on the
get her
pod.
back, yeah.
We when she initially dropped her release, she was gonna have to go out and do a little bit of
She's doing
She's busting her ass.
doing a little bit of marketing
traveling.
for it. But we'll get her back when she comes home.
And in considering this episode was brought to us by the Virginia Tourism Board, can we give a shout out to Clips too while we're talking hip hop? Clips. Oh, Pusha T, Grindin'.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Virginia hip hop.
Okay, Virginia hip hop. Wow, I'm not familiar.
Wow, Sam.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Hip hop.
Sam,
I don't know anything about petite men saying, so everybody's got their weaknesses.
It's so wild when I was rolling off. Like, yeah, I am an East Coast. I like the East Coast hip hop. I was raised on the East Coast. It's like one of those things, you know. I do dig Dre. Like, you know, I can just go on hip hop all day. Snoop. That Snoop's flow is one of the most original flows in hip hop. I mean, Doggy Style. Come on. And Nate Dogg was incredible. Dre, that California sound, what he did, like, just, it's beautiful. Taking Parliament and then sampling it and doing what he did. I think Dre did something that East Coast could never do. He designed and created a style within the genre that had not been there before, and to this day, no one's been able to copy it. And then Trap comes around.
Him. He can't even put out another album, you know?
Then Trap comes out, like Trap from ATL. You know, you have like, you know, Fetty Wap bringing the trap. Now Trap's just part of what we do. I see Trap on like Target commercials now. Right. You know, it's like Trap's everywhere.
That's one of the weirdest things when you see the commercials and you hear some of the music and you're like, what the?
Is that Trap? Yeah. Is that Fetty?
When I was a kid,
they know the lyrics
now it's
to that?
selling fucking rugs.
No, I love those. There's all those memes on Instagram of people, these like Gen X dudes like cleaning the house, like listening to like gangster rap.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I clean the house listening to like Metallica sometimes. So,
shout outs, clean up. This is, what are we in? We're in the first week of December.
I believe we're approaching episode 400.
Yeah. Keith, could you please
390 something?
Yeah, it's like 393, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Is Keith? Keith, why don't you shout out your social media stuff that you want to maybe grow?
Mm-hmm.
How do all our friends who are in natural wine get out to you and talk shit?
I'd love to have the conversation. Please get in touch with me at VinePair Keith on Instagram. It's really the best place to get in touch with me is at VinePair Keith. My Instagram handle. DM me if you want to fight. It's fine. If you want to debate the whole natural wine thing, more than happy to do. I do it all the time. I did it with Alice Firing. I can do it with anybody. So.
Good target. Sorry.
It's true.
You brought out the worst in me today. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm 50 and unfiltered.
Yeah. Oh, what a
That's how I
great,
like my wine.
Just like
what a great name for a show. 50 and unfiltered.
Let's go. Me and MJ's new podcast. That's what it'll be.
Jesus Christ.
It's coming.
We only got one thing going on rest of the year, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
That's it.
Buy some tickets. Marty O'Reilly, as seen on TV, hanging out with Snoop Dogg. Apparently, there's a great picture of Miles and Snoop Dogg, but I haven't seen it yet. Tickets are on sale. What else is going on? There's a bunch of wine.
I'm actually
It's
going
a
to go
great time to
see,
buy wine from your favorite local wineries. And
Buy wine, drink wine. Buy wine, drink wine.
Buy wine on the day this comes out, so you can make sure it's there for Christmas.
Exactly.
Because this will come out like the 7th, right?
Yeah,
whatever
as
whatever
people
Friday
say, the
is.
short amount of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you have to order your wine early.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jean de Bois. What's popping right now? What should people buy?
I think people should buy whatever they want to drink. No,
Love it.
That's why winemakers should not ever do fucking
that's why
sales.
I can't sell wine.
What the fuck? Damn.
21
Sales teams
Rossi.
are
21 Rossi, I think, is really amazing, and then the 22 mostly Morvet, I think, is my favorite wine I've ever made.
Oh,
It's
nice.
such a people pleaser. It's just so easy to drink. It's fresh. It's layered.
A+.
Delicious.
Yeah.
A+.
A+ on that wine.
Get better grades on wines than I ever got in actual
Keith,
grades.
I'll get you some.
Yeah, sounds delicious.
But yeah, so I think it would go really well with anything you decide to make at your table, and I think it could hold up to any Pinot out there for sure.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should do a latke pairing show. We got New Moon Mountain.
vodka pairing show?
Yeah.
What? Let's go.
Okay.
I love that. Sorry, we do that. We do a champagne tasting every year. We did it. We taste a bunch of champagnes.
Ooh, champagne and latkes.
We had
good.
champagne and
A
latkes.
little like creme fraiche caviar
It was
champagne.
perfect.
latke.
Oh, wait, can we do
Ooh.
a whole Bob James taxi pairing with the entire thing? Vodka,
You lost me with your Gen X reference there.
I know. You don't know.
taxi, the show Taxi,
Yeah, I'm just
Christopher
outside,
Lloyd.
just outside the
right?
Yeah.
And then
Just
Bob
outside.
James
Danny
did
DeVito.
the
I
theme
mean,
music for
I
it.
know
Who a lot of rappers sample for it.
roughly
Okay,
what it is.
That'd be kind of
Yes,
a dope
all right.
thing. Oh, someone asked if we were going to make sparkling wine.
With what?
Someone was in here
I
this
would-
last weekend and asked if we were ever going to make sparkling wine, and that they heard a rumor that we were going to make sparkling wine.
Well,
You know anything
first of all,
about
I
this?
love whoever's putting out rumors about what 16600 is or isn't making. Please continue that. Put them on the internet. I've heard the internet does good things. Are we ever going to make a sparkling wine? I would maybe play around with some Grenache Blanc de Noir. I think more likely. If you're gonna, petite menseng. Say that 3 times fast. Go
out
to
there.
champagne and blend something and put a 16600 label on it. I'd do that first.
Well, that sounds like you just want a trip.
Well, yeah. Send samples to 589 First Street West.
Do they have golf courses in Champaign that I didn't know about?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Definitely.
Yeah, they gotta.
They actually use less chemicals on the golf course than they do.
I believe
in the
there's
vineyard.
a DTC conference coming up soon.
Yeah,
we
I think
should mention?
Well, DTC Symposium,
Yes.
January 2021-22, Monterey.
Probably the last days that you can get a discount ticket, or
Coming
that
up.
is might have
I don't know. It's all,
last week.
Email Barbara Gorder at whatever Barbara Gorder's email address is and say, hey, we heard that there's discount tickets, but it's ended on the website. Can you hook me up?
There you go.
It's called How We Measure ROI, Barbara. See, you heard it on the podcast, and then they texted you and said, hook me up with the discount that's no longer available.
And we know you're still listening to the podcast
Because we didn't mention DTC
consider,
earlier.
Yeah, because we consider you a super fan.
Well, I'm technically a sponsor,
Love DTC.
sort of.
Support DTC.
Hell yeah, freethegrapes.org too.
Thegrapes.org.
Bart, anything going on rest of the year? You guys got the tractor parade out of the way. You got the
Tractor parade
lighting
was a
of the
huge
tree
success.
out of the way.
Yep. By the time this comes out, Saturday and Sunday, we have the Glen Ellen wine walk is Saturday and Sunday. 5 wineries, $25. Come taste.
Are people going to be walking from where you guys, from like the Jack London Plaza to the downtown Glen Ellen?
Nah, they probably won't. They're
Okay.
going to have to do
Ride
that.
bikes,
It's about a
segways.
half a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new e-bike rental company in Kenwood that have sidecars. So we're kind of giving them a shout out and recommending
with
them.
sidecars?
Yeah.
That sounds so safe.
Do they serve natural
Well, right.
wine on in the
so dangerous and
sidecars?
so fun.
When I met the lady, I said,
Don't
do you
drive angry.
recommend them on Warm Springs or Highway 12?
Yeah, exactly. How about like the driveway?
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
I get shotgun.
Right? Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks, Keith.
Of course.
Appreciate
thank you. For
you.
having me.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, happy holidays to you.
Same to you guys.
Go read VinePair.
Read it, listen to it,
It's not as bad as some friends of the podcast say it is.
consume it.
Jesus, shots finally fired at the end of the show.
That's totally fine. I love it. Bring it.
Totally. Bring the drama. That's what I say.
Right.
The wine world needs a Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, I'm.
The Real Housewives
we
of Wine
don't.
Country? Oh, it's
Yes.
probably coming anyway. Fuck.
Right?
The Real House Husbands. There we go.
House Husbands of Wine Country. There we go.
Husbands of Paso Robles.
All right, thanks.
Love to see Dan on reality TV.